Hey everybody, I'm Meg from Loven Stamps and this is Maker Mornings with Meg. Today's project is another great gift card holder idea. So if you have anyone coming up for graduations or retirements or celebrations, this is a great way to present a gift card because really, don't we pretty much all give gift cards right now? Or small gifts would work too, or chocolate, which is always appreciated. And the feature today is the Greatest Journey stamp set again, because this is my feature for the month of March, and the tutorials, Loven Stamps monthly tutorials, will be available in my Etsy shop later in this week, and then also available if you place an online order in my store. So I'm going to show you some really cool tricks today, one featuring this single die from the Greatest Journey die set. I'll show you when we switch our cameras, the whole set. But this little die right here is really cool, and I'm going to show you not only the way we're going to use it today, but I'm also going to show you a sneak peek of how I'm going to use it next time. And then the other thing you're going to need for today's video is cornstarch. So I know that is maybe kind of a surprise, not usually a stamping tool, but it is really a great way to use this, or thing to use for this trick I'm going to show you for some special greetings today. So. All right, with that in mind, you guys are so good. Everybody say good morning already. I love it. Hey, Sue. Oh, Sue's yawning. It's not that early, but it is really, Sue's actually my neighbor. We live around the corners from each other, and it's kind of gray here, so it is kind of a yawning morning. Hey, Trish and Elaine and Tanya and Deborah, and we are going to switch our cameras now. So let's get this set up, and here we are. All right. So like I said, sorry if that makes you motion sick, I'm done. We're gonna use these dies here in our stamp set. And because if you made this box, this gift card holder box the other day, then you're gonna end up using the cards from the Memories and More card pack, one of the most overlooked items in the catalog, don't miss them. So you've used a bunch of cards, you're gonna end up with a bunch of envelopes left over. So I'm gonna actually take 2 envelopes and we are going to turn these into a gift card holder. So this project was inspired by my friend Lindsay Mann, who's a very talented stamper. She's my friend in Alberta, Canada, who I just got back from visiting. And she showed me a Christmas version of this project. And I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't made one of those forever. So it was time to pull it out. So we're gonna go ahead and start with these 2 envelopes. They're printed on both sides and on the inside. So they're really fun. Just sort of extra kind of item. And I'm gonna go ahead and fold them on their score lines just so that I can kind of see what's going on. All right, and happy pre-Friday, Kelly. So now what we wanna do is we want to connect these 2 together, and I'm gonna show you not only how I connect them, but also a really important trick for making them straight. So let's go ahead and put some adhesive on. I'm gonna go ahead and put tear tape on these so that you can really see what I'm doing. It makes it, oh, that was really dangerous. Okay, well, I'll tell you why it was dangerous. I'm gonna go ahead and put this one on here. All right, so tear tape makes it easy for you guys to see what I'm doing. The reason it's dangerous is you need to make sure that all of your tape is covered here. So if I had this kind of situation where my tape would be sticking out, then that would be maybe not a good plan. So if you put the adhesive here and here on this back, then you know that it won't be sticking out anywhere. But I think we've gotten lucky. So let's talk about lining these up. Trimmer has a ridge at the top. Let's see, can I make that really obvious? There you go. See that ridge, that 3-dimensional ridge there? What I wanna do is I wanna use that ridge. And you can see I haven't taken my plastic off of here. I usually leave it on. And then when it starts to get ripped up, I take it off. So, but you can take it off right away if you want. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is slide my envelope up against that ridge. So it's getting stopped right there. And then I'm gonna take the next one and I'm gonna slide it up against the ridge because it runs the whole length. And so you can use this tool to make sure that you're lining things up when you're connecting them together. It's much better than freehanding it, especially when you're gonna have to fold things and you need them to actually be straight. So I've got my finger here. My fingernail is on the score line so that I don't overlap it too much. Don't overlap it at all. And I'm going to slide these 2 envelopes together and press down. So see how they're still up against the top there. And then I've got my envelopes together, okay? So see how that works? We've just connected them kind of like this, like a little book kind of thing. And then I'm going to go ahead and fold this flat. I'm gonna match up the edges. I could score it, but I'm not going to because I just wanna make sure that if I've gotten them not exactly even, that I end up even in the end. So I'm lining up so they're straight here, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and squish down on this side, okay? So now we have our envelopes that will open like this with a little spine. Does this make sense? And these envelopes here are just perfect with that extra decoration on the side because it really sets off that fun area. Now, the other thing you can do, if you want to leave more space for opening your pockets on the inside, you could fold these not at this fold line here, but I think that since the fold line is already in the envelopes, it generally works out well to do it there. If you wanted to do this trick with regular envelopes, you definitely could. What I would do is fold the envelope, you know, like, oh, this is not a good example. Let me grab one. Oh, here's one that I did. I really like that stamp set. So what I would do is I would fold the envelope like this, and I would color the back of this or stamp the back of this. Put a piece of scrap paper here if you don't want to get the back of your envelope also. But then you would basically have the same kind of effect with a cool edge piece to your envelope that then would show as cool part of the spine for your project. Okay. All right, so now we are going to go ahead and finish up our spine here, and I'm going to use a hole punch. So we don't happen to have one right now, but you certainly can find a hole punch in your craft supplies. Most of us paper crafters have hole punches at this point. And the string I'm going to use is this 3-twine combo pack. And I am actually, I wasn't sure which color I wanted to use, so I'm going to use all 3 colors because why not? Hey, Patricia, you actually get quite a bit of the, quite a bit of string here, so I'm not too worried about running out. And I'm just gonna go ahead and use all 3 colors because like we've talked about before, it is really nice sometimes to have, trying to find my scissors when I'm pinching this. It is really nice to have a bulkier thread look to just really have your thread shown off to the best of its look. So sometimes one little piece isn't a very strong visual look. All right, so this is my fancy paper clip. You can see kind of what I've done here. My fancy paper clip threader. So I'm just gonna pop this through. I'm gonna add my thread there, pull it up into the eye part, pinch that back through, and pull this to the back. If you need your very own paper clip threader, I highly recommend making one. Now I need to pull that back to the front, so I'm gonna pop this through. I'm gonna push it all the way through so that my hook is through, and then slide that to the eye, and then pull this back. So one thing sewing has definitely taught me is there are, you know, some tricky, quick ways to do some threading. I don't know if anybody sews. I have a needle threader that came with my cover stitch machine, and oh my gosh, once I finally figured out how to use it, that thing is miraculous. So anyway, more about that if anybody really is interested. But okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just tie this on the front now and give it a little bow, and now we have our cute closure accent here for our little envelopes. And see how this is kind of, it looks a little sloppy right now. I always tell you guys, when you have something like a bow that isn't quite what you want, it just looks a little sloppy, make the loops smaller because I often find that neatens up the whole look of it. I'm missing a thread. There it is. That neatens up the whole look of it and gives you just an overall nicer look to a finished bow. So let's pull this side through here and then retighten it. And there, that just looks a little cleaner, a little cuter, right? So make sure your bow loops are in size with your elements. Okay, so now how are we going to decorate this? How you can see kind of the start of the gift card holder part. Hey, Patricia. Let's see. So we're gonna go ahead and add some pieces to this. So I'm gonna start with a piece of the designer series paper, of which you guys know there are a really great selection of beautiful papers included. Sorry, I know there's glare. Included in this Enjoy the Journey paper. So I have a piece here that is sized to fit on the front of our card. So basically what I did is I just took the dimensions here and made it an inch smaller on the horizontal and the vertical so that it would mat nicely. And not coincidentally, but we have these little stars peeking out from the background, which I really enjoy. And then those stars are going to appear on the back of our gift card holder too. So let's go ahead and stick this down. When I do something like this that's going to have a lot of elements on it, I'm going to go ahead and use my stronger adhesive like my Seal Plus, which actually I adore anyway. All right, so there are our trees. Now we're going to add some mountains to this because we want to sort of go with our theme here. And this is where one of the really miraculous things about this die comes in. So what I have here is 2 pieces of cardstock, contrasting colors. I took them from the pumpkin colored twine, but I have 2 pieces of cardstock that I've cut. So you can see this one started off like that. And this one was just a really tiny slip. This mango was just about an inch wide, maybe 2.5 inches wide for this pumpkin pie one. I went ahead and cut them. And not only does this give us a cool mountain piece here, but it gives us, all I did here was flip this over. It gives us another cool mountain piece here that we can use to layer. Okay, see how that works? So this really is an outstanding die. Don't throw away your scraps. So same for this orange, if we wanted to with pumpkin, we could double layer that. But I kind of like the 3-layer look. So let's go ahead and line these up to see, get them kind of where we want them. And I'm gonna stagger this kind of to the side. I'm gonna move this down. All right, so now we have, I don't want that hole to show through. Let's see, we'll do like this and then that's gonna show up there, which is kind of a cool feature. I don't care if they line up at the side. I kind of like it if they don't. And then we need an element to put on this. And we have our stamp elements, the trees and so forth. And we have all of these die elements. So one of the dies I haven't used yet is this cool biker guy, girl, person. And so this die would look great right here on these mountains. So let's go ahead, we're gonna die cut this. And the color that I picked for this is Garden Green, which matches our trees in the background. So this gets die cut with my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, the Big Boss. And through the magic of television, I have that element here. So that is going to set like here on our card holder front. Now, you could, if you're like, I don't know anyone who would really get this bike card. There are lots of other things you could put there. So we'll come back to those in a second. The other thing we need is a greeting for this. And there are all kinds of greetings here. We've talked about these before. I'm inspired by your courage. We're in this together. Wishing you joy in this next adventure. All kinds of moving forward things there. Mountains of thanks. You belong among the stars. And this moment is the start of something great. All kinds of great greetings. But I've been talking about the cards and envelopes. And the other day, I talked about the card packs. And I'm scanning my surface here. Oh, there's the card pack. Couldn't bust them for a moment. The card pack, which you can use as a layering insert to hold your gift card. Well, for this project, we're going to go ahead and we're going to use these to add to our project here. And you can see on the back side, there are some really great colors from this suite. On the front side, there are blues and black and white. And good morning, Barbara. Hey, Debbie. On our other size cards, so these are the 4x6s, we have more choices. So this one, You Are My Sunshine, we're going to set aside. That one's going to come back here in a moment. And then the other thing that's included with these are 4 sheets of these cardstock self-adhesive elements. So when Stampin' Up! First came out with stuff like this was like 20 years ago practically, they're like, don't call them stickers. They're self-adhesive cardstock elements. Just to give you the idea, they're really cardstock weight. They're very heavy. So they're not like just paper stickers that are kind of cheesy. So we're going to go ahead and use this one here. These are Happy Days, and we're going to add this to our card. Now this is where the cornstarch comes in. So some of you guys might know this trick, but Since it's sticky, I'm kind of resigned to sticking it down flat, but if you watch my videos, you know that I am all about the Stampin' Dimensionals and popping things up. But unless I cover the whole back thing of this with Stampin' Dimensionals, it's really hard to keep it from sticking down flat. So this is where, dun, da, da, our cornstarch comes in. So let me move this out of the way a little. It's a little messy. Sometimes I don't usually do this at my stamping station. I usually just take it into the kitchen and do it. But I'm going to open this up. Stay fresh, no mess. So that's it. We're gonna have no mess here, which is probably not likely, but I'm gonna go ahead and just grab, I don't wanna put my fingers in this. So my biology, I'm a biologist by background, a molecular biologist. I don't know how many people knew that, but I don't love to contaminate containers of things because of that. So I'm not gonna put my finger in there. So what I have here is some cornstarch here, and I'm going to go ahead and rub my die, or not my die cut, I'm gonna rub my sticker on it and pick up the cornstarch. And now my sticker is no longer sticky at all, okay? Now let's try to keep the cornstarch from getting all over everything. Oh, the wrong day to wear dark jeans, right? Okay, I think we've got most of it off there. All right, so now we have a non-sticky sticker element that you can use to add to your projects without worrying about having layers fail. So, and now you have another reason to have some cornstarch handy. Okay, have you guys seen that trick before? I don't know. It's been around for a long time, but we've kind of gotten away from using them that way. Oh, look, little cornstarch dots on my stuff. Okay, so let's go ahead and put down our elements here. Like I said, I do love a good set of dimensionals, and so I'm gonna pop a couple dimensionals here on the back of our pumpkin. And let's see, we still have an embellishment, and I was gonna show you those other decorations. Okay, well, let's get this set here. I'm gonna pull that away so I can see. What I'm doing is I'm lining up against the bottom of my card there to make sure those are pretty straight. And then I kind of want to extend this. So I'm going to extend it below the bottom, and I'm going to pinch these two pieces together since I have to have them together. And then, because I don't want that gap to show. And then I'm going to put some dimensionals on that area too, right there at the intersection of those two pieces. So get another one on there. And one last one. Okay, so now our two pieces are gonna actually stay together, and I don't have to worry about them shifting on me when I stick them down. So I can kind of play and put them wherever I want. So I'm gonna pop them kind of down toward the bottom of that pumpkin there so that we have lots of space for our biker here to sit here. And we have a really nice contrast now in the background. So between the biker and the paper. Let's see. Oh, Trish says she uses baby powder. Oh my gosh, yes. Baby powder would be great. Anna says she uses her embossing buddy. An embossing buddy, if you don't know, is like a little rosin bag, and that is another great one. Lots of good possibilities. But anyway, the idea is use something on the back of your sticker to make it not sticky. All right, so this is gonna go here now on dimensionals because we have gotten that set. I'm not gonna stick it quite yet, so we can take a look at all these pieces. All right, so other options than the biker. From here, we have our trees, so the stamped trees and then the coordinating die. So you could put trees here on this. We have our hiker person, so you could take the hiker person and put the hiker person there with a little lantern. There's also a little hiking pole that you could give this person. And then we have our runner. So if you know someone who is a runner, their happy days are definitely out there getting the miles in. And then finally, we have our tent that we used the other day on our tag here, which you could do in colors here to match. So this is soft seafoam and garden green together. So you would layer those two elements, and you could put your tent there on this card. Or you could put your tent and the trees on this card. Like, seriously, this is a really fun set because you can layer so many pieces. All right, you could have your trees and your runner, all kinds of choices. But we're gonna go with a biker without the trees. And I think I'm gonna tuck his front wheel underneath there. And he is, he, person, it could be anyone, is going to get their bike right there. So, Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and stick this down. And then I have an embellishment to add to the front of our card here. And then we're gonna switch gears and work on the inside. All right, all these things might or might not appear on a card later. When you guys have extra elements, do you tuck them into your stamp case? I usually like to keep a clear envelope, and this one doesn't have one yet. You can see my other pieces in there already, but I usually like to keep a clear envelope handy because then I can keep those things safe and they don't get exposed to all the ink that might be left over in there. Okay, so embellishment for this. You, of course, would have all of the elements from here that you could add, but they're not really the style that I want for this particular card. What I really love, though, are these enamel sticker icons. You get 4 sheets in a package. We've been using these, and I am going to go ahead and color, but I'm going to color on the paper here. So I've got my Old Olive Stampin' Blend marker. This is the dark. And I'm gonna go ahead and color right here while it's still on my sheet. And the reason for that is kind of important. You wanna make sure you get all the way around the edge of your element, but you also don't want to have that ink overlap onto your card. So by doing it on the paper, when it's still on the sticker sheet, then any excess ink you can see gets left behind on the sticker sheet. So I'm gonna give that a second to dry. Another second to dry. Okay, I think we're probably good. Dries pretty quickly, actually. I'm gonna try and keep my fingers off the front as much as possible. And this is going to get tucked kind of down here, a little bit behind and a little bit on top. So that is a fun element. There we go. Oh yeah, it was dry, no problem. I'm onto our piece there. So just adds like a little extra, and kind of that fulfills that bling effect of something else fun. So now what's gonna go inside our envelope. So you have a couple pockets here. You have one here where you could stick your gift card, and I have an REI one kind of handy, which would be perfect to go with this themed card. And we have our You Are My Sunshine card here, which has some space on the back. So this would be a nice place to write your message. I would use like a Sharpie or something kind of heavy to write my message so that it was easy to see. And my favorite thing with gift cards is to pop a Stampin' Dimensional on the back. Sometimes I use a really small one. This one's not used, so there we go. Got my dimensional on there, and that way it just sticks right there on my card and it's ready to go. So I can pop this one here. And if you're Canadian and watching REI's MEC kind of idea, so same idea. All right, so that fits in there. And then you have the second pocket here that you can use. But I actually think we're just gonna seal the second pocket up because I don't really need it. So I'm gonna come back to my layering choices here. So I have all of these cards. I have the designer series paper that I could layer to kind of keep my theme going. Any of these would work. So I could put Let's Celebrate. This would go nicely here with the stripes. I kind of like that look. Thank you, hello, thinking of you, whatever. You make my heart happy. Or let's remember that the backside, which way did this go? The backside of all these cards is really pretty too. So you could pick something that would be a great fit for your theme or the person you're sending your card to. A giant word bubble, always a great choice. I really like this one though, because it brings out our orange here and the oranges from the front. And so I'm gonna go ahead and use my Seal Plus and go ahead and do both sides here and just close this up. So I don't think it looks too much like a pocket by the time you've sealed these pieces on here. And then clearly we need some kind of decoration here. So if I want to, I can bring back my biker person and go ahead and pop this on the front. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop all these extra little green pieces out. There we go. They're all nicely die cut. They just don't always eject. So you can use your paper snips, or you can use the die brush, which is just not close enough to my chair. So I do, if I'm standing at my die cut machine, I use my die brush. Oh, there was one more. Okay, so now we have our element here, and I'm gonna use multi-purpose liquid glue to stick them down, since I don't usually, well, sometimes I do. I shouldn't say don't usually. When you open your glue the first time, I'll just show this to you here. Let me get that to focus. There's often like a skin of glue across the top. You want to pull that off. So usually I just kind of pinch and wipe that off. So if you're having trouble getting your glue out, either make sure you're storing it the way we've talked about before. So store it this direction with nose down, or make sure you remove that little glue there. Okay, and with this glue, the refrain is if you can see it, it is enough. It's very sticky, so you don't need to glob it on there. So then we can just add our little biker person and let that grab. Okay, and there we have our very fun gift card holder. So using the envelopes from the Memories and More card pack that you're gonna have left over after you've made some gift boxes from the other cards. So this was episode 349 of Maker Mornings with Meg. So if you need to go back and see the gift box, you certainly can. And these cards and envelopes can also be great cards and envelopes. And so here is a really pretty element, or a really pretty card that we did using these cards and envelopes earlier. And this is an episode from last week sometime. I just realized I got a drop of water on this envelope, a tiny bit, and I really like it. Like, I think I'm going to go back and drop water in a couple other places because that looks beautiful. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yeah, I think that's definitely going to make an appearance again. Oh, I promised you a sneak peek, speaking of. So those are 3 of the projects for for monthly tutorials, Meg's Loven Stamp's monthly tutorials for the month of March 2023. And then here's a sneak peek of the last project. And I just wanted to show you just this little element. The die here that we are using, where'd it go? The mountain die. Don't think about using it just for big pieces like this. It makes really cute elements here that you can use on smaller pieces and then die cut. And there's finally my hiker person. So if you're wondering about my planned backpacking trip for Southern Indiana this weekend, it is not going to happen in Southern Indiana. One of the things that I like to do is make sure that especially if I'm taking a group, I like to keep in touch with the ranger where the places that I'm going, and I just sent the ranger a message. I was like, hey, you're getting a lot of rain. Is that going to be a problem? And they wrote back and they said, yeah, 3 to 6 inches of rain, and it is going to be a problem. The roads will be washed out. The creeks will be impossible to cross. So anyway, we're changing. We'll go someplace in Illinois instead. So it will still be chilly. So send us warm vibes, but at least we won't have, hopefully, the trail washed out by 3 to 6 inches of rain over the next couple days. So I hope you guys are staying dry wherever you are. And on Tuesday, I can tell you all about our hiking adventure. So, all right. Kathy said that she said, you're always making me want this set. I love the sentiments, and now I might have to get it all. I mean, I love, here's my mountain sweatshirt. I really love being outdoors, so this super appeals to me. But even if you're not an outdoorsy person, there certainly are likely to be people in your lives for whom this would be a great set to have. It's great for people of all ages, all genders, all identities. Definitely a great one to just anyone who has a special interest in being outdoors. This is a great set for them. So, and really, like this card here was certainly not necessarily about an outdoors, not for, let's see, can I get my camera to focus? I think the answer is no. Is not required to be an outdoorsy person card at all. So it really is a very flexible set with a lot of beautiful gradings in it. So, all right, thanks. Oh, Roxanne, say good luck with your snow. Sorry. And I will look forward to seeing you guys next week. So happy stamping, happy pre-Friday, which is what we say on Thursdays. And yeah, hope you have some time to get some great crafting in this weekend. So happy stamping, guys. Bye-bye.